What are the beautiful energies of December 2024? Hi, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Mia, here on Mostly in the Moment for another monthly energy forecast. We're looking at December 2024. Just to let you know, this month is starting off with a bang. We have a 10-day portal that is intense energy that changes a lot of things in your life. It could be physically, it could be energetically, it could be a lot of inner work and information, but it's just a lot of stuff coming in to your world, whether it's physically, energetically, information is coming to you. So that started in November 30th and goes until the 9th. So you can see that December starts off with a lot of stuff, a lot of clarity coming in for you. And then the three astrological events, the new moon, Mars retrograde, and Venus going into Aquarius, and then Neptune going direct, kind of is incorporated into this 10-day portal at the beginning of December. So we'll look into that. And then we have the full moon in Gemini. We have Capricorn season starting, Jupiter square Saturn, and then another new moon in Capricorn at the end of the month. All right, so let's get started. Timestamps below. And I also have a very in-depth energy of December that takes a different kind of perspective linked below also, with 4 main energies and what you can kind of probably see in the trend of the unawakened or just awakening folks and how they're going to focus on like a lot of more superficial stuff. So you're going to see that kind of in that reading if you're interested below. All right, so let's start with the first energy, which is this new moon that kicks off this 10-day portal that shifts and changes and brings more awareness and clarity to all the stuff that's being moved around are coming up now. Strength card. Wow, okay. And the green dragon. All right, helps you tune in to the secrets of nature. And the strength card with this beautiful tiger here. I love that they use a tiger instead of a lion this time. Okay, so there's definitely a connection with nature going on. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that, like people kind of connecting to their animals more. You know how like it's like a trend with like people having buttons for their animals to be able to communicate like a few words, like I want a drink, I want to go for a walk outside or something like that. So there's going to be a significant awareness that we're able to communicate with our animals, because not only is our consciousness leveling up, but so is all the consciousness on the planet. So even the plants and the animals and the fungi and everything is kind of leveling up. Yeah, so I am seeing a more intuitive feel towards not just animals but towards plants. A lot of indigenous tribes talk about how whenever they got sick, they were kind of led to the plant that would help heal them. And there's so much about, your body craves, you'll start tasting in your mouth whatever food that you might need right now because you're lacking that nutrient or you're deficient in that, whatever that is, or help heal whatever it is in your body. You'll like start to crave that food. So the more in tune you are with your body, the more in tune you are with the energies of all the living things around you. Very cool. I do sense that like health and body is something that's going to unite a lot of folks at this time. It's a very easy thing to get on board with, improving for whatever side you are on politically. Just kind of like this awakening and awareness that's coming onto the planet. People are going to want to kind of take baby steps into that higher consciousness living. So you're going to see a lot about health and tuning into your body. Okay, so how does this affect you? 10 of Cups in reverse. Fulfillment. I do feel a lot of light workers, because the Ten of Cups came out in reverse, and it's such a positive card of feeling really positive emotions and getting some sort of success in your energies, feeling some sort of success in the kind of inner work you've been doing. I do feel for you, light worker, that this is going to be more private. So either you're succeeding in something, you're succeeding in some sort of inner work that you've been working on for a very long time, because you're at the 10 now. This is a very big energy with the Strength card. You've accomplished something big in your inner work, in your inner universe, and that is something that you're going to be celebrating kind of privately right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if this new moon kicks off a lot of clarity on the successes that are coming to you in the physical. So I wouldn't be surprised if you start getting a lot of little achievements and manifestations in a lot of like random areas of your life. But I feel like you're going to kind of celebrate that more privately. You know, light workers are usually kind of doing this work on their own for most of their journey. So this is something that you're celebrating privately, all these little manifestations and successes that are coming through, because it was your hard work and people around you wouldn't know. In fact, it might have to do with the avoidance or putting boundaries up with people around you and situations around you that weren't working for you, whether it's in work, whether it's with family and friends or relationships or health. It seems like you put in a lot of work and you are the one who's meant to reap the rewards. That's why you're kind of celebrating privately, first of all, because it doesn't involve other people, and you achieve this despite other people and situations around you, your environment, despite those things that are holding you back or challenging you or opposing you. So this is something you want to celebrate on your own, or with very spiritual people, like very close soul family kind of folks. Your soulmate, if you want, if you're with a soulmate. But also, there's so much starting to come in. It's gonna kind of overwhelm you and make you feel like, wow, like this is working, this is happening. I'm getting so much success and manifestations. Like, it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming, and you just kind of are being guided to relax, let it flow in, let all these things come through, and it's going to get you excited and having clarity of what your next steps are going to be. Okay, but that just like kicks off the month, so that's something that you're going to be dealing with for the whole month. Just little manifestations, success is coming in, kind of keeping it a little bit more private, getting a little overwhelmed with how much is coming in and how much confidence is giving you for all the energy we put into this kind of work, but also letting yourself relax so it just keeps coming through, reminding yourself like you don't have to work so much, just let it come through. But also getting ready to take some big actions. Maybe you'll take a few this month, but mostly in the months to come, you're going to be kind of planning a lot with this new information, this new energy, these new shifts that are happening now. Okay, so yeah, light workers I heard like it's exciting, it's finally happening. Yeah, a lot of light workers are gonna be like, yeah, it's finally happening. All right. I'm just gonna pull a quick card to see like what your energy has to do with like this energy coming onto the planet. Ace of Wands is starting. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay, because like with the rest of the collective, also kind of stepping into their more spiritual energies or more emotional energies or more the unseen energies, just some stepping into the more energetic side, their intuition, their connection to other energies is kind of like a sign for those that have been working on their spiritual side, finally getting their physical manifestations. So as the unawakened collective kind of steps into their more spiritual energy, those that have been working a lot on their spiritual energies and their physical energies too, but you know, a ton more, are going to start seeing that this cloud is being poked and all the rain is going to fall out. Like all this kind of beautiful physical manifestations, little ones here and there, are going to start finally popping up for you. All right, so let's see this Mars retrograde energy, which is cool because it happens like rarely, like almost every 2 years or something. And Venus going into Aquarius. This is kind of happening at the same time. I've been kind of relating this Mars retrograde energy to, I've been kind of relating Mars to the unawakened collective who are being kind of like triggered a lot at this time to kind of wake up. And yeah, we had Mars opposite Pluto last month. And it went into Leo, Mars went into Leo, and it will retrograde back into Cancer and then go back into Leo until like June next year. So there's the Mars in Leo is going to be there for a little bit. And I've been kind of relating it to the agitation of the awakening collective. So I wouldn't be surprised if from like now until 6 months from now in June, like you're going to see a lot of people kind of still be in a very tense, kind of irritated energy, not accepting the new, having cognitive dissonance, being shocked at what's real, what's out there, the truth of things. So I can see that from December to June, I feel like the awakening collective, or those who are not awake yet, are still kind of fighting this awakening a little bit. So you're going to see that energy for a bit. Let's see what the energy is like for the collective. This Mars retrograde and Venus into Aquarius. So hey, like Venus going into Aquarius is kind of like, yeah, there's this loving energy coming onto the planet where we want to help humanity evolve. But there's just going to be some people who are just so stubborn. You're going to see the stubborn of the stubborn in December to June. It could be a family member. It could be someone that's like a leader in the public eye who just wants to hold on to the way things were for the longest time, you know? And there's some good things in the way things were, but like just when new information and new truths are revealed, it's kind of like you have to look at the facts, right? So there's going to be that kind of energy from now until the 6 months from now. The World card, oh wow. And the golden orange dragon. Expand your light for ascension. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you can't help it anymore. It's time. This energy is here. And I talk about this in the extended energy for this month, linked below. But it's basically like, this is the time, you know? There's a lot of moments where we kind of went back and allowed these energies kind of to repeat for the rest of the collective to wake up. But it's kind of like, no, now enough is enough. You know, you have to awaken, face these truths within yourself, face these truths in the world, in your external. And, you know, we're not going back anymore to repeat these lessons, to repeat these cycles that were made for you to wake up, you know? So a lot of people are like, a lot of light workers are like, enough is enough. Like this was your last chance. We're moving forward now. Like, you chose this timeline to awaken, so it's going to happen eventually. So yeah, I imagine the next 6 months is like it's kind of when we'll see the most resistance to this new beautiful age of Aquarius energy coming through. But then after that, it's going to be easygoing. A little bit. Yeah, let's see how this energy is going to affect you. 4 of Cups, contemplation. I'm getting the opposite, actually. The opposite energy. Like this next 6 months is where so many people are confused and not sure how to react yet to all these new energies, that after 6 months, it's going to get much worse. Great. Okay. So enough is enough. The Lightworkers are starting to manifest this new 5G reality, this new higher level of consciousness and what that means for the world, kind of acting on these high frequency ideas and inspiration and manifesting it into their physical. And a lot of people are still opposed to it or don't know how to react to it yet. I'm getting the next 6 months is when it's going to be peaceful. Like there's something brewing underneath the surface of those stubborn souls who just don't want to see, or that's their kind of lesson here. And then after 6 months, so after June, it's going to be unleashed. I'm getting it's still it is, they're being stubborn, and they are getting angry or frustrated or irritated, but it's building underneath the surface. And I think by June next year, they're just gonna be like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this anymore. You're gonna see all this like anger released, and I think you and a lot of light workers are gonna be like, all right, we got to get out of here. You know, if they want to throw a tantrum, like I'm not gonna be around here for that. I got some high frequency things to do. So I do feel like it is happening in the next 6 months. Like there's a lot of anger and irritation brewing. But I feel like it's not going to be released until June or something like that. I want to get an extra confirmation of how this affects you. Let's support 2 of coins. Interesting. Terminating, crypto, gold or something. I love that. I haven't seen this card before. And it's interesting because I got a lot of like crypto videos right before I sat down for this reading this morning. That's crazy. Okay, so I do feel like something is gonna come through by this time, because we see a lot of like manifestations happening for you, beautiful soul, and a lot of like things becoming clear what your next steps are going to be. It's a little overwhelming, but you have a month or 3 to plan things out. But I'm getting by this weekend, this first weekend of December, there's something that's going to drop. That's going to give you even more clarity on what steps to take. I feel like it's money. I feel like a money or some sort of abundance or opportunity in order to make more money, or opportunity like a windfall of money, or something. Yeah, some sort of opportunity that opens up because of an influx of money, or some sort of abundance, or some sort of beneficial situation coming through, a positive opportunity. Wow. Okay. So I'm getting in the next 6 months, light workers are kind of getting ready. So while this kind of energy is brewing underneath, like I feel like with the Mars and the Venus here, for light workers, this is kind of like getting things ready underneath the surface to get the green light. And while the kind of more stubborn and stuck collective folks kind of like get ready to kind of unleash, which is fine. Like, you know, I think if people are going to get angry in a healthy way, they can use that anger to kind of make the changes that they want to see in their own life. Because usually people are like yelling at other people because they're mad at themselves for not having made that change within themselves. So you can see people kind of like get angry and burst out there. And you can see my extended energy for this month linked below, that's kind of, they're going to do it in a healthier way. They're going to get angry at the right things, like what's been done with our food industry, what's been done to hide our inner beauty, and kind of in the beauty industry. Like I saw those 2 things specifically for the unawakened or just awakening folks. And so they're getting angry at the right things, you know, or at least some of them, they're starting to get angry at the right things, and they'll be led to be like, oh, look how you can use this anger to make positive actions that help a lot of people, not just like random anger that's kind of used as a band-aid. I go into that more in that reading, but I feel like the light workers with the Mars and the Venus here are getting ready to take action. So I wouldn't be surprised if not just for the next few months, but the next 6 months, light workers are starting to make plans for this move. I did get kind of like, don't want to be here for the tantrums kind of thing. You know, like kind of seeing a lot of, you know, light workers, obviously you're very intuitive. You can see kind of trends happening. You're going to see that there's going to be some energy building in your environment. If you're not already in a high frequency environment, you're going to see this kind of static in the air build around your environment, and that's going to be your signal to kind of go and find a place that's like well grounded, that has good energy, even if it's just for a temporary period of time. But I do feel like, yeah, it's going to be for like around the next 2 years. But I do feel like you're going to have a lot of like a lot of manifestations coming through. You're going to have other small manifestations with money related to work, related to some sort of opportunity for abundance coming through in this beginning of December, like start coming through. Like helps you kind of figure out like, okay, I have options. What should I do with this new information and all this abundance coming in? And that's going to come through like going into next year. Was going to be more and more information yet, because I kept getting the next 2-3 months. So I do feel like the next 2-3 months you'll still start getting more information still coming through, and then by next March, April, May, June, July, like that's when you start to like kind of like make moves. I'm getting. Okay, so going into the next energy, which is Neptune going direct, 27 degrees Pisces. So Neptune has been in Pisces since 2012. So you can see how like a lot of people have been starting to awaken around that time, especially folks on my wave from 2012 till, 2020. And this, 2020 was supposed to be a very important time to kind of awaken the collective, and it was kind of co-opted by dark forces, right? But this energy goes until 2026. So the next couple of years, we still have this very dreamy, idealistic energy in the air where people are connecting to the 5D world and being like, hey, that is possible. We can make that happen in this lifetime, or start to move things in that direction in this lifetime. We can get our consciousness there. So it's kind of like, it would be optimal to kind of use this energy where Neptune is really comfortable in this Pisces energy while it's there. So for the next 2 years, I'm not surprised. I kept getting like Lightworkers are going to kind of do their own thing for the next 2 years, be around more like-minded people, network more. It has been happening since 2012, but like this is kind of like the last ditch effort. Like Lightworkers are going to be like getting with their soulmates, their soul family, getting with their communities, because this is really good degrees of Pisces to kind of really bring in that soul mission, that divine creative projects, passion project, humanitarian project. Like these are the perfect years to do that. So some light workers who haven't already made the change to be around more soul family and to be around more high frequency environment are going to do that, because they're going to be so sick of the static in their environment and in the people around them. So if this is kind of like last call for light workers to be like, hey, if you want to kind of bring in the best ideas, this is a really good time to get very spiritual, go to a peaceful place, a high frequency place, and do this work. Channel the best ideas for your soul mission in this life, your life purpose. So let's see what Spirit is saying the energy of this. The Moon card in reverse, yeah. I do feel like you've done so much emotional work. You've done so much spiritual work, inner work. It's kind of like, time to get going. For the rest of the collective, it's kind of like a huge burst of spiritual work, emotional work coming through. It's going to come in the form, for most people, dealing with emotional baggage that they have, emotional healing that they need to do. We know this is going to happen. This is the Great Awakening. This is where most souls are going to choose to start doing their healing work. All right, and then Alpha Dragon. Harness the divine masculine power of creation. Beautiful. With the Moon card, which is a really divine feminine energy. And the Moon card did come out in reverse. So I do feel like for you, beautiful soul, I feel like it's time to kind of step into the physical realm with the amount of power you've gained and can hold now in the spiritual realm, right? So you have a lot of spiritual mastery, you have a lot of emotional mastery, you have a lot of mental energy mastery. You can think better, you can think sharper, you can access the Akashic records or higher dimensional beings, or your intuition on very, very strongly, your higher self, your spirit team very strongly, very, very well. So it's now time to go into the world with that foundation. It's kind of like you're being prepped to be the best version of yourself. And then the soul missions that you've had, the goals that you had in life, they might still apply, but you're going to be so surprised how completely different some of your bigger goals in life are going to change, because some of the goals that you had for your future and your soul mission were kind of like the carrot on the stick. They were the things that were motivating you to kind of complete the spiritual journey, to complete this healing, these major cycles, in order to be the best version of yourself, right? To come into your highest energy. And you built this foundation. So, you know, maybe that carrot and stick like worked. Maybe you are going to manifest some of those things, especially if they're more like general goals. But I do feel like when it comes to very specific soul missions and very specific like projects and goals you want to achieve in this lifetime, that's going to change in a very big way. You're going to be able to access much bigger, more specific and unique to you goals for this lifetime. And that starts now. I've been kind of picking up that energy for quite a while now. All right, so how does this look for you? What actions do you want to take? Hard work. Yeah, 8 of Gems. And it came out in reverse, like the moon card. It's like, yeah, you put in the hard work for the unseen work, like the unseen energies, right? And now it's kind of time to bring it out to the physical. So you've done like the spiritual stuff, you've done the emotional stuff, you've done the mental stuff. Now it's time to get the physical stuff. Yeah, what hard work you've done, Lightworker. You found the light, you found the higher power, you know, or you found your own unique connection to the higher power. You've done the emotional work, and that was what a freaking roller coaster that was. And then you did the mental work. You decided to plan your future. You decided to plan like who you want to be and becoming that version of yourself. And now it's time to go into the physical, manifesting things for yourself. Yeah, beautiful, great. Keep your vibes high with manifesting your best home and relationships and, you know, health and whatever. But with that level of power, you're ready to take on the world, right? All right, so let's see if there's anything specific Spirit wanted to say about that. 7 of Potions. Yeah, the possibilities are endless. So, and it's linked up to this World card. It's like, yeah, the world is yours. There's nothing you can't do. Yeah, I really truly believe you're gonna be so surprised at how many doors open up for you, how many more different things that you'll be interested in, that you feel like passionate about, that you want to learn, that you want to dive into, how many more sides of you that you've never really thought about exploring, how many different more you can find out more about yourself in ways that are fun and positive that you never even like thought of, because you're just building this foundation. And you're also going to have the abundance and the opportunities to go after goals that you didn't think you could before. And yeah, I think you're going to be really surprised at how many more things you might be interested in like, achieving. And that's why Spirit's like, take your time. You don't have to make all the decisions now. Like the next few months, just maybe think about setting yourself up to be able to bring in these projects or opportunities or start on all these other projects. Like focus on just setting yourself up if you don't feel set up already. All right, so let's go into the full moon in Gemini, halfway through the month. What is that energy coming in? The 2 of Swords in reverse, door opening. So I feel like by the full moon, there's a door that opens. Because I feel like in the beginning of the first half of December, you're just kind of getting all this clarity, all these like little manifestations, all these like options, all these like abundance coming in. And you're kind of like, wow, things are starting to rain. Like when it rains, it pours. Like all these things are starting to come in. It's so exciting. And like Spirit's like, yeah, it's exciting. And you might be so used to just being like, now I need to take action, now I need to pursue this, now I need to research this. It's supposed to calm down, relax, allow more of this energy to come through, allow yourself to receive, and to receive you have to be in a relaxed state, schedule in time to yourself and time to relax, and massages and baths and time off and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna have to make sure you take care of yourself. You can do a lot of this kind of quietly or by yourself, or just with just very high frequency people around you, like soul family, but you're keeping it to yourself while all this kind of stuff comes in. You can feel the bigness, it's gonna be wow, I always dreamt of these really grand goals, but I just kind of being in this physical world is how much can you manifest these very creative, imaginative, big lofty dream goals, for light workers. It's it's possible, but you might have your own role to play in it, and it's gonna be exciting to see all these things that you thought were just magic, and just hey, this is the spiritual realm, the energetic realm is just kind of that. It's just thoughts, it's just feelings, it's just signs. But no, it can be interpreted in physical ways. And the fact that you're allowing yourself to believe in magic, or kind of things actually manifesting in the physical in the ways that you imagined or better, is kind of such a empowering moment where you're yes, I always knew this, I always believed it. It gives you so much confidence. It really shines up your energy. It really empowers the energy. You're holding more and more powerful energy within you. And so doors start to open. Let's see, silver lunar dragon, and underneath this moon card, bathes you in divine feminine light. That's so funny. We have the masculine energy and we have the feminine energy. So you can tell this energy in December is allowing you to kind of incorporate this very spiritual, energetic power of the unseen energy with this very masculine, physical, tangible, very logic, straightforward, black and white, physical world. So you're gonna start to see, with Lightworkers light being finally unveiled, how much power you actually have and how that translates into the physical. There's a lot of people who have a lot of power and their light is allowed to shine, and they magnetize money and opportunities and people to them, right? But there's this wave, my wave, the folks that awakened 2000, 2011, 12, 2016, 17, before 2020, that had their kind of light hidden for a while because you were still going through your spiritual journey. And now that light has being uncovered and unleashed for the world to see, I think you're going to be very shocked to see how much power you actually have and how that translates into the physical world. Because you were kind of doing all this work, you might have gotten little manifestations here and there, but it wasn't you weren't able to kind of fully let your light be shown and seen on purpose. You're being protected to kind of complete this journey. So I feel like you're going to be so surprised, and you're going to have so much more confidence in your intuitive abilities. Are you kidding me? As soon as you know that you can manifest such big things and that you were right on point and all this was real, your confidence level, it's going to go through your roof, which means that your manifestation abilities are going to go through the roof because you're going to believe with unquestionable doubt, without any doubt, without questioning anything, that this is going to manifest, this is going to work. You have such confidence in yourself. What actions are you meant to take? Wow, so we got a lot of water energy here. The Queen of Cups, sensitivity. You definitely are going to heighten your intuition, or your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities are going to heighten. So this full moon in Gemini, an air sign, okay? is going to definitely heighten your intuition. Let's see, the number 23, 5. I'm seeing that like you're with, especially with the 5 and the Gemini, like I feel like your energy is going to be kind of seen more. Your intuitive abilities are going to be seen more. And it's kind of like that energy of like, you know how if a ton of people kind of believe that this person, like for example, there's like a leader and they need to kind of solve an issue, and if all the followers or a lot of people kind of give the energy like, yeah, we pray, we hope, we send good vibes and good energies that this leader can help us out of this situation, it usually manifests, right? So like it's like the power of like collective energy, right? Or collective prayer, kind of. When more people can see your power and believe in your intuition and believe in your psychic gifts and believe in your connection to a higher power, to the higher realms, it's going to activate you to take on more of that power, of that energy. So that's how you're going to become more psychic, apparently. Wow, interesting. Okay. Is there anything you need to know about that? How does it relate to the collective? We have the 2 of Potions, the 2 of Cups. Okay, it's probably going to bring in a like-minded soul. For most of you, it's going to be a soulmate. And most of you, it's going to be a divine counterpart. So as your energy starts, you've been building up so much light, which is wisdom, and even more and more light as you cleared out anything that was in your shadow aspect, which is just parts of yourself you didn't know. As I became aware of your shadow aspect, as you cleared out some healing, as you cleared out anything that wasn't serving you, your light grew and grew and grew. But you grew as much as you could on your own journey, like within your own little bubble, right? And now Spirit's like, okay, we protected you. You've completed enough of your spiritual journey that we're going to pop this bubble and your light is going to be shown out into the world. And it's so bright. You don't even know how bright it is because we've been kind of shielding it for the most part. You know, only having little glimpses peek through this kind of veil, this kind of curtain, right? That was around you, that you're going to be so surprised at how people react to this energy, how the physical world reacts to your energy, how it magnetizes manifestations more, how it magnetizes abundance and money more, how it magnetizes opportunities more, how it magnetizes people to you more, and how it magnetizes like a lot of things, right, to you more. But I think the thing that you're going to be most surprised is your divine counterpart. So as you enter this 5D energy, so has your divine counterpart. Both of you can now see each other and find each other in the physical, because both of you were always in that 5D energy. It wasn't going to ever happen in 3D energy. It was always going to happen in this 5D energy. So your light is shining. You and your divine counterpart are calling each other in. If you're already with your divine counterpart, I do feel like like-minded souls, platonic soulmates, you know, soul family, soul friends, things like that. But I feel like for most of you, this is like your divine counterpart, especially with the 2 of Cups here. Especially because you're taking care of yourself. The Queen of Cups, I kept getting that. That was in the extended reading too, where you're meant to just kind of take care of yourself and relax and don't worry about working too hard too much. I know there's a lot of things that you can work on, but just take it easy. Take it easy. Allow these things to come in. You don't have to make a decision tomorrow. Just like allow it to come in and get excited, celebrate, and take care of yourself. Okay, so then we have this 5th energy, which is Jupiter square Saturn. And I wasn't going to read this energy, but it's like right around Christmas. So I thought like, hey, might as well check into that energy. Okay. Yeah. And like, as you can see, there's like portal days this weekend of the Capricorn, you know, season starting. And then we also have portal day the weekend after. And usually whenever there's like a major like 10-day portal, you'll see like 2 smaller portal days, which is like this weekend of the 21st, the first first day of winter for us in the Northern Hemisphere. And this also, this weekend, the weekend after, to kind of like digest the energy that just came in. So that's why Spirit's like, yeah, just let it come through. Just like relax your body. Just like do what you feel like you intuitively need to do. Just let the energy come in. You don't need to make decisions. Just take care of yourself. You know, let this settle in. Okay. Yeah, so okay, I was like, where's this Four of Cups go? Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords. Wow. Okay. So clarity. So a lot of people are going to have clarity and want to take some sort of action. And because this is around the holidays, I do feel like it's probably going to be around people. Jupiter and Saturn are both very, if they had a common energy, it would be being personal, being sociable. So I would definitely feel like this clarity and action for some people who might want to take this kind of action, like cutting out something that no longer serves you, or taking action towards people or groups that do resonate with you, might be a good time around this Jupiter square Saturn energy. So what does this energy look like? Blue Dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing. It's interesting because Pleiades are the ETs that are the closest to us in energy, and therefore they're usually around helping us the most. They're a benevolent ET race, and they I do feel like there's gonna be some UFO activity around Christmas time or towards the end of December. We've already seen a huge uptick in UFO sightings, and the collective is awakening up. Like, what is happening? Is this real? You know, while the rest of us are kind of like, thank you for finally noticing and, you know, being like accepting. Because like there's so much UFO disclosure that happened in the last few years, but people didn't even care. People didn't even care. It's like, you don't care about UFOs being out in the sky. There's so many times I saw UFOs in the sky. Not so many times. It happens rarely, but like it usually happens around the time like there's big things happening on the planet. But I would just look up into the sky and I could see like ETs moving around. I'm like, how many people are seeing this in my city right now? Like, how many people are looking up and being like, I can see that. People don't look up into the skies anymore. People don't look up from their phones, you know, into this beautiful sky that led our ancestors, that gave our ancestors a reason to connect to a higher power. Just when you see the stars, like, it does something to the human psyche. It makes you feel connected. It makes you feel like there's a bigger energy out there. It makes you feel kind of like we're just a small part of this bigger divine plan. It connects us to our higher consciousness. You know, so it's like not surprising that people don't look up into the sky anymore. You know, I see that these ETs have been around for like always, you know, and I started seeing ETs in the sky when I started my spiritual awakening, because that's when I started like becoming aware and just like uncovering truths. And so they made themselves, you know, available for me to see. And so it's just kind of like allowing yourself to open your minds and hearts and connect to a higher energy. And if you are honest and you know, really want to genuinely work on your spiritual journey, work on raising your consciousness, like there's going to be energies to help. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of UFO energy activity that happens at the end of the year, at the end of the month. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people, your friends, your family, your community, your neighbors are going to be like, oh my goodness, can you believe that? Can you see that? And you're like, yeah. And then you go off explaining to them like the different races or how they come from, you know, underwater, or like, you know, what this means for the collective, or what are the different ships that they might look like. Like you're going to be their source of intel. You're going to be their, you know, search engine. Okay. Yeah. So what action do you take? Justice, balance. I feel like, yeah, because like, especially here with your light being uncovered, like people are going to gravitate towards you for any information on anything spiritual, even if it's not your forte or it's not your like specialty. Like I do feel like people are going to come to you with any kind of questions they have on anything spiritual. you know, whether it's crystals or, you know, energy work, you know, doing some sort of, what kind of energy practitioner should I go to? Some ancient knowledge, ETs, or mystical beings, or, you know, the true human histories and different kinds of psychic gifts, and, you know, just like, how do I protect myself? How do I connect? What does this look like? How do different people perceive energies differently? How do, you know, what happens after life after death? What happens, like you know, they're gonna like swarm to you. And this is another reason why you're gonna be like, okay, need an exit plan, because you're gonna want to be, you're gonna be led to places where you have time to just kind of channel in your highest soul missions, without getting too bothered by the collective, who, for a short while, will need to be kind of just left alone to just deal with the things that they need to deal with in their own way. You know, I keep mentioning it, but it's so important. But like, the collective chose to go through this together as a collective experience, and you can't force your help or guidance on them. If they come to you once in a while, that should be enough, especially in this next couple of years while you're going to be channeling some really, really high level divine ideas for projects. You're not a savior. Everyone kind of saves themselves. You can help people, you can guide people because you've been through it here and there. If they come to you, not forcing it on anyone else, unless it's like kind of like, oh, let me leave this clue for them, you know, allowing them to save themselves, or allowing them to go through this kind of period themselves. You can't force someone to awaken. You can't force someone to see something. They have to get there themselves. So you don't really have much to do in that sense, work-wise, for your soul mission right now. Right now, your soul mission is just going to be channeling the highest and best soul missions you can in the next like few years. And then maybe, and then helping people here and there if they feel guided to you, if they come across your path. But really, your soul mission for the next few years is just channeling that high frequency energy, not having anything distract you, keeping yourself in a high frequency environment. That's it. Keeping up with spiritual work and making wise decisions with the abundance that comes to you, the manifestations that come to you. All right, so yeah, that's another reason that you'll probably want to be like, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere where people don't connect to my energy and hang on, or can find me too easily, you know. All right, so how might this look in regards to you and the collective? The Star card, yeah, you're just channeling in your highest and best soul missions. And also you might kind of want to, like, I'm getting this energy of leaving the city, or kind of keeping yourself in a city, part of the city where it's more quiet or peaceful, or where you'll be left alone a little bit. Yeah, I did a reading. I think it was the energy forecast for November, where it's kind of like, it depends on your soul mission that you're going to be doing. Some people can manage to take on their soul mission while living in the city, while living with others, especially depending on what their soul mission is going to be. Maybe it's something that has to do connect with people more or something, so you're going to have to be around the city a little bit more. But even if you live in the city, you're probably going to find a more quieter spot, and that's going to be more expensive, right, to find a quieter spot in the city, or live close to the city or something, or have a second home near the city. But for people who take on really, really high level soul missions, you're definitely going to need at least one place where you stay a lot in, that is very high frequency energy, like almost untouched by human hands kind of place, you know. So, and then anything on that spectrum. So, you know, you can kind of see that. All right, so let's wrap up this reading with this last energy we're going to look at, which is the new moon in Capricorn, closing out this month, closing out this year. And this is where it's really exciting, okay? Because the Capricorn season that's starting on the 21st with the solstice energy. Sorry, I'm just trying to move the cards around because I want you to see the energy portals here. We have an energy portal this weekend, the 19th and 22nd of when the sun enters Capricorn. All right, and then we have another energy portal kind of a little bit, the 27th and the 30th, which is on the new moon, for the next weekend after that. So it's kind of like big energy comes in, take a little break, digest, break, digest, you know? And there's like some action energy here. We have the action energy of, because in the first half of the month, it's kind of just like, let things come in. And then the second half is kind of like you can take action to cut away people who no longer serve you, or to take action towards people that resonate with you and are like-minded, are high frequency. And then we have this energy of the new moon in Capricorn. So because Pluto finally left Capricorn after being in it for 16, 17 years or whatever, and finally entered Aquarius last month, this Capricorn season is going to look so different. It's going to feel so different. And I feel like at first you're kind of like, okay, I kind of get the gist of where my life is going and what action I could take to be around like-minded people or to be in like energy environments. But then this energy comes through, like you just entered Capricorn, so it's like, don't worry, we're easing you into it. But then by this weekend, by the end of the year, this new moon, that you're going to be celebrating the new year of the Gregorian calendar, because I consider the spring equinox in March to be the first day of the new year. But this energy is going to prove to you how this Capricorn season is going to be so vastly different than the many Decembers, Januaries that you've had recently. So the past 16, 17 December and Januaries that you've had, this is going to be so different. This is going to be different than that. The way you celebrate this new year, if you do, it's going to look different. Maybe different friends, maybe a different activity, maybe a different field, maybe you're in a different home, maybe you're in a different job or you're considering a different job or career. Like, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel like, wow, this is a good sign that my life is going to be completely different next year and the year after, right? So let's look into that energy. The 9 of Wands. Finally, you can feel this energy kind of shifting. The air dragon helps you rise above earthly matters. So I feel like with the abundance coming in and the soulmate or soul family coming in, you know, we have feeling really good with like the amount of things that are manifesting for you. I feel like the energy is, you know, like with all the hard work paying off, that your spiritual energy that you've worked on for so long is going to translate to your earthly life being so much more easier and peaceful. So I do feel like you're going to be taken care of, you know, and it's because of the work that you put in, but in terms of your basic needs, basic survival needs, so you'll always have a roof over your head, you'll always have food and warmth and medicine and people to connect with, like family kind of people, basic needs, but also on top of that, like whatever you need to create the life that you want, create the nice home in the sanctuary that you want, create the nice energy for your work that you want, create the nice, whatever you want to create, you'll have the resources. A lot of people are going to get more money than they need. A lot of people are going to get more intuitive gifts come online, psychic abilities than they need. A lot of people are going to get a lot more resources and people who are like-minded than they need. It's just you can have like a abundance, unlimited source of whatever you need. And so there's this really calm, blissful energy that comes in that makes you feel like set up for whatever you want to take on next in life. It's very peaceful. And it's very, like you feel very secure and stable. So I do feel like, because even though you keep getting all this stuff, now you get all this money, all these resources, all these people, all this high frequency stuff, opportunities, work and projects, that you're like, I don't even need any of this anymore. I can just like live on my farm watching my cows. I'm happy. Like you don't even need to take on these soul mission projects. You don't even need to connect with all these like-minded souls. You don't even need to bring in all these resources to build this project and that project. You don't even need to make these transitions in work and career. You don't even need to invest this money or, you know, make the best financial decisions. Like you probably will do all these things, but you don't need to anymore, because like the way that you're connecting to your like spiritual self, being so confident, like, wow, I can manifest anything. Your physical life seems to kind of hold not less meaning, but like your 3D objectives and goals here tend to take on less weight. And I talked about this in reading a long time ago, but kind of like when you enter the 5D energies, what does it look like? And it's like at first, you know, you're so excited about all these like 5D projects and stuff. And then as you're in this 5D energy more, you kind of just relax and you just kind of take, like, I just want to take a stroll down the river today. That's all I'm doing. You know, it's just like, it turns into like, oh yeah, like I'm not going to work so hard. Like I'm just going to enjoy this, being in this energy. And then you help people who start coming into the 5D energy. You kind of help suck them up. If anyone needs help with a project, or if there's an issue that you need to collaborate on, you'll definitely help out with that. But it's just taking life very easy, like too easy, like you're retired from life kind of thing. But yeah, that. Don't worry, that's gonna take a long time. It's still gonna be very interesting for a very long time. Let's see what you're being guided to take action with. Wheel of Fortune, cycles. Yeah, just let this, like, allow the old life to be released and allow this new life to come in. That's all you got to do. Just take it easy. And how does this relate to the collective? The 10 of Wands. Okay, so we went from the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. I feel like you're going to be like, why am I working so hard? I should be working smarter, not harder. You know, so I feel like you're gonna relate to the 3D physical realm differently. You're gonna relate to the physical realm so differently, and you're gonna do some things that are so differently. You're gonna want to ease up your life. You're gonna want to detract things from your life. Take on fewer things during the day. Just take on more projects that you feel intuitively guided to. Make money in a different way that's been kind of forced on us. Don't, you know, work for yourself, work out of home, work with people out of the community, focusing on just things that are important to you. Like really ease up your schedule, really take on much, much less. It was like, why are you stressing yourself out? The spirit built our lives, the higher power, the ultimate creator, built our lives with time off built in. You're meant to take time off to heal, to create, to collaborate with others intuitively. All right, beautiful soul. I hope you have a beautiful December, and I wish you much love and light.